Good morning. What's happening, guys? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and you guys are going to want to pay attention to today's video. This is big news, and this is likely going to affect each and every one of you, especially if you have a side hustle, if you mow lawns, if you cut hair, if you're a flipper or a reseller, you buy things at garage sales or Goodwill and resell them on eBay, this is going to affect you. But heck, even if you just use services like Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App to pay a friend back for, going out to a restaurant or taking you to a movie, you're paying them your share back. This will likely affect you as well. Basically what's happening here, Joe Biden and the IRS are going after side hustles and small businesses in the name of making sure billionaires pay their fair share. So let me lay this out for you. What this new rule means is that if you have more than $600 flow through your Venmo account, your PayPal account, your Cash App account, and it's going to be more than this, right? It's going to be Stripe and other things like that as well. But if you have more than $600 flow through your account, you're going to be 1099, and you're basically going to have to document how much of that was profit. You're going to have to pay taxes on that. And this is different than the way things were previously set up. Previously, you had to do either over 200 transactions or over $20,000 in sales to have eBay or PayPal issue you a 1099. Now, if you guys remember a few months back, Joe Biden and the IRS wanted to monitor all bank accounts that had over $600 flowing through them. So basically, if you put $300 into the bank and then 3 weeks later you took $300 out of the bank, now the IRS can monitor your bank account. Now, fortunately, that was shot down and nobody voted for it because it's a huge overreach and it's completely unnecessary. But they did wind up being able to slip this through in Joe Biden's, American Recovery Act or whatever it is. And keep in mind, this is done in the name of, and I'm doing quotes here in the air, in the name of making sure billionaires pay their fair share. But here's where this gets silly. Do you think billionaires are, cheating taxes $600 at a time? Do you think billionaires are laundering money $600 at a time? Absolutely not. We currently already have rules set up with FinCEN where if you do a transaction over $10,000, if you buy over $10,000 in crypto, if you deposit over $10,000 into the bank, they're going to fill out what's called a CTR. I believe it's called the FinCEN Form 105. And they're going to take your name, your address, your social security number, some form of ID, and if it's a transaction for a business, an EIN number as well. And they're going to report that transaction. Now, here's the thing about that. If you wanted to, let's just say launder $1 million worth of money, $10,000 at a time, you would have to do 100 transactions. That's a lot of transactions, and in the grand scheme of things, $1 million is a relatively small amount of money when we're talking about billionaires. So even that $10,000 limit is kind of silly, and I know for years FinCEN and the government has been talking about raising it to $50,000 because the reality is when every transaction over $10,000 needs to be reported, there's so many transactions flowing in that FinCEN and the IRS can't possibly monitor all of it. So basically, you're putting this huge business on burdens to do all this record keeping. I believe they have to keep the records for 5 years of all these transactions as well. You're putting a huge burden on businesses. They have to have a compliance officer. They have to do all this record keeping. And ultimately, at the end of the day, nobody is even looking at these reports because there's so many of them flowing in. Well, now in the name of making sure, quote unquote, billionaires pay their fair share, they're going to be monitoring over $600 in transactions going through apps like Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. I'll give you my opinion in terms of why this is actually being done. Obviously, the government always wants their share of everything. But we've seen more LLCs filed and more companies incorporated in the last year or two during this pandemic than at any other time in the past. A lot of people are leaving their jobs to start small businesses. A lot of people are leaving their jobs to freelance or start side hustles. And Joe Biden and the IRS want to make sure that they get their cut from these people. Now, in the grand scheme of things, every dollar you make, the government wants their cut of. But in the past, a teenager cutting the neighbor's grass for $30 a week, they're not paying taxes. Does it really make that big of a difference? No. And does anybody really give a shit at the end of the day? Probably not. And you could kind of say the same thing. If there's you got some 17-year-old kid who wants to buy a car, so he starts flipping baseball cards online or starts, he watches Gary Vee and he starts buying things at Goodwill or estate sales and flipping those things online, and he makes $1,700 a year. In all honesty, most of the time, that 17-year-old kid isn't going to be paying taxes on it. And I mean, ultimately, is society really hurting? Does anybody really give a shit? No. But with this new rule, if little Jimmy winds up, like I gave the example before, seeing an Xbox Switch at a garage sale for $75, he winds up picking it up for $75, reselling it on eBay for $100, and after fees and everything, maybe he makes $19, he makes $21. He does that a couple times, and all of a sudden now he's going to get a 1099 saying that he made $800, and it's up to him to have either documented or kept receipts from those garage sales to be able to say, look, even though PayPal paid me out, $800, in reality, I only wound up making $78 in profit, off of flipping these items. That's the number one reason that most small businesses go out of business is taxes. A lot of people aren't organized. A lot of people aren't that great at keeping records, and it's easy to kind of get yourself in trouble with the IRS. And if you don't have good record keeping, it's going to wind up looking like you owe or like you made a lot more than you actually did. This is a huge deal. I can't stress that enough. Let's get into the article. This one comes to us from the Daily Mail. Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App will now have to report transactions totaling more than $600 to the IRS as Biden plans to ramp up financial enforcement. And like I said before, we're seeing more people than ever start their own businesses. With the thing in your arm mandates, a lot of people are leaving their jobs. And I think Joe Biden, the IRS, and the government realize that a lot of people are kind of transacting, smaller time amongst their local communities. Maybe they're selling at flea markets, maybe they're selling at garage sales, maybe they're mowing lawns or cutting hair and getting paid through Cash App or Venmo. And the government wants to know about it, and the government wants to get their cut. I think this is a good reason to do cash transactions. I think this is a great reason why crypto would be a great way to transact with each other, because with crypto, there is no central authority like a Venmo, a PayPal, or a Cash App who can report on you to the government. But the bullet points from this article: the new reporting requirement will ensure that small businesses that receive payments through those apps are paying their fair share in taxes on them. Now, keep in mind, this is, supposedly supposed to go after billionaires, but billionaires aren't transacting $600 at a time through Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. Beginning January 1st, 2022, so this is already in effect, third-party payment processors were required to report such transactions. The changes will be included during the 2022 tax season. The payment apps were previously required to send users 1099-K forms if their gross income exceeded $20,000 and had more than 200 transactions. Now, here's a couple caveats to this law. So, supposedly, if you are doing peer-to-peer transactions between friends, it's not subject to this tax. So, you have a group of 10 buddies from college, and once a month you guys get together to go out to dinner. The bill winds up being, we'll say $500. Everybody owes $50. Maybe your buddy Tony's going to put it on his credit card, and everybody's going to Venmo or PayPal or Cash App him $50. Now, over the course of an entire year, that would come to over $600. So I'm not sure if there's going to be I know in Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, you can quote unquote send money to a friend as opposed to buying goods or services. So I guess what's going to stop businesses from just marking everything as sending a payment to a friend? Recently I was helping my grandparents move, and when I went to pay the moving guys, they said, oh, well, we don't take credit cards. You can either pay us cash or you can pay us through PayPal. So I go to pay them through PayPal, and they're like, could you please send it as friends and family? Well, PayPal has kind of caught on to that. So they wound up charging me a $50 fee on the $1,600 moving charge because I think they realize that, people are just putting friends and family so that they can avoid that. But how is that all going to come into play with the IRS? The other thing, if you buy something and sell it at a loss, you're supposedly not going to owe taxes on that. So let's say you bought an Xbox for $600. You decide, I'm spending way too much time playing Xbox. I don't really need the Xbox. I'm going to sell my Xbox. So you sell the Xbox on eBay for $400. Because you're selling it at a loss, you're not going to owe taxes on that $400 because you paid $600 for the item. But then it is incumbent upon you to be able to document and prove, look, I paid $600 for this thing. I was just selling my personal goods. I took a loss on it. I don't owe any money. So basically, this is just going to be a record-keeping headache for everybody. Let's see. Let's get into this article. President Biden is cracking down on payments made through third-party apps, requiring platforms like Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App to report transactions if they exceed $600 in 1 year. The new reporting requirement will ensure that small businesses that receive payments through those apps are paying their fair share in taxes on them. Beginning January 1st, 2022, third-party payment processors were required to report on such transactions. Though businesses were always required to self-report such incomes to the IRS, many often did not keep record of their smaller transactions. The payment apps were previously required to send users 1099-K forms if their gross income exceeded $20,000 and they had more than 200 transactions per year. The new law was part of the March 2021 American Rescue Plan, which passed with no Republican votes. Now, let me just say this at the outset. I don't like our two-party system. I don't like either party. I don't like Democrats. I don't like Republicans. Personally, I'm more of a libertarian. I guess you could kind of classify me like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I think the government should be involved in things as little as possible. But, you know, lately especially, I do think the Democrats are a lot more nefarious, a lot more authoritarian, and just a lot badder than the Republicans, in all honesty. And I think it's important to note that not a single Republican lawmaker voted on this. This law is unfriendly to small businesses. It's, in my opinion, somewhat intrusive. And, you know, pay attention to which president and which party is pushing laws like this. The new rule is only for goods and services transactions, not personal, such as paying a roommate for rent or reimbursing a friend. And like I said, how is the app or how is the IRS going to distinguish between this? It also excludes anyone selling a personal item at a loss, such as a couch bought for $700 and sold for $650. Now, how is Venmo going to know about this, and how is the IRS going to know about this? Well, ultimately, it's likely going to be incumbent upon you to document and prove all this stuff, which means your record keeping, even if you're not a business, just somebody, you know, selling a used item of yours. You know, this is going to fall upon you. The cash apps will now be required to send the 1099-K form to businesses with electronic cash transactions greater than $600. The new rule change will apply for the 2022 tax season. For the 2022 tax year, you should consider the amount shown on your 1099-K when calculating gross receipts for your income tax return. PayPal warned users on its website the IRS will be able to cross-reference both our report and yours. The new tax rule is separate from a proposed IRS reporting requirement that originally would have handed over transaction data on accounts with more than $600, aggregate inflow and outflow. So that's what we were talking about before, where the IRS wanted to monitor every American's bank account if you had a total of $600 coming in and or out of your account. The proposal, originally part of the President Biden's Build Back Better plan, was raised to $10,000 threshold after much pushback and has not been acted on by Congress. And even $10,000 is pretty low when you think of, you know, all your yearly expenses coming in and out of your account is going to be over 10 grand most likely. Republicans have said that the proposal amounts to the Biden administration peering into every American's purchases. Let's see what the comments say. Thanks, Brandon. You truly suck, FJB. This should be fun to see. It won't last long. As a bit of humor in this, I read an article on Bing's News fairly shortly before this. It said the IRS is in such shambles right now that only about 1 in 10 calls that come into the service lines are answered because they're operating at less than 40%. And most people get too discouraged from staying on so long to talk to a person. They know if they were operating at a much better capacity, they still wouldn't be able to keep this up. And at only a $600 minimum cap, I'd like to see them try. Haven't laughed this long in a while with everything going on. Let's see. Why doesn't Biden ramp up enforcement on a tax cheats who spend $600 on a haircut? Or why doesn't Biden start making highly profitable corporations pay taxes? Instead, the corporations use their tax-free profits to do stock buybacks from people who spend $600 on a haircut. Real money moves in a very small circle in this country, if it moves anywhere, though lots of it has moved to the Caymans, Switzerland, British Virgin Islands, and other tax havens. Wake up, people. It's not poor immigrants or people of color ensuring that your life remains crap. It's the rich and their enablers in Congress and those installed in our Supreme Court. FJB, adding dollars in cost to get pennies in unreported taxes. Government incompetence at its best. Government sucks as usual. They just had to go sticking their nose into everything you do, especially when money is involved. Taxation is theft. It is unconstitutional. The IRS is not a government agency. FJB, let's go, Brandon. So, you know, I think this kind of wraps this up. Let me know what you guys think about this. Is this good that, side hustlers and resellers and flippers, we're going to make sure we get every last penny from them? Or is this kind of intrusive and unnecessary? Ultimately, I don't think anybody can say that this is to go after billionaires and make sure billionaires pay their fair share of taxes. I think this is that the government realizes more people are making money through side hustles, making money through, little small businesses and local businesses, and the government wants to make sure they get their cut. But as always, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Go ahead and drop a comment down below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.